We all remember the tragic day when Kobe Bryant's career was unofficially ended near the end of the 2013 season when his Achilles ruptured against Golden State. The Lakers would go on to make the playoffs thanks to his late season heroics, but they would get swept by San Antonio without Kobe in the lineup. I'll always wonder what they might have accomplished that postseason because of the way he had been playing up until that point, and for the first time ever we didn't get to see Kobe return in time to make a difference. We had gotten used to seeing Kobe be so consistent, always showing up ready to play and to compete, regardless of the stage. Sometimes it's easy to forget that he has rarely been healthy, especially in his later years, because we were just used to seeing him play so well. But the truth is, Kobe has had quite a lot of injuries, and he simply played through them whenever it was possible and sometimes even when it was not. So let's take a look at some of the injuries Kobe faced in his professional career and how he managed to have an impact even when he was far from 100%. We're going to start off by going way back, all the way to high school. Drew Downer, Kobe's assistant coach in high school, reported that Kobe broke his nose in practice once, a few days before the state semifinal against Chester. He says, "We spent 2 days getting a custom mask made and trying to keep it quiet from Chester and all this stuff. Then the day before the game, he just says forget it and plays without the mask. He scores 39 points and we win to get to the state final." You might have seen Dwayne Wade breaking Kobe's nose in an All-Star game just a few years ago, and it's no surprise that he would stay in, making his free throws and finishing that game, when a broken nose didn't even slow him down as a teenager. In October 1999, the Lakers were having their first exhibition game ever under Phil Jackson. Kobe's hand was hit by an elbow in the first quarter, which broke it in the process, but Kobe continued to play, and in 30 minutes he accounted for 18 points, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 0 turnovers. This was an exhibition game. It wasn't until 2 days later when Kobe was complaining about pain that they had x-rays taken and revealed that he had broken the 4th metacarpal bone in his right hand. After this, the Lakers sidelined him for 15 games. One of his most famous injuries happened in the 2000 finals against the Indiana Pacers. Jalen Rose has since come out and said that he had done it purposefully, but during those finals he stepped underneath Kobe's foot while he was taking a jump shot, and when Kobe landed on it he sprained his ankle badly. Kobe would miss the remainder of Game 2, which the Lakers ended up winning to take a 2-0 series lead, but the Pacers won Game 3 and were in position to tie the series up with a Game 4 win when Kobe decided he would not sit out any longer. He played on a badly sprained ankle, carrying the Lakers to a 120-118 overtime victory in Game 4. Keep in mind that Shaq had fouled out of this game when Kobe scored 22 points in the second half in overtime alone, including the final 6 Lakers points and a blocked shot with 2.5 minutes left to play. Kobe came up big in the clutch, being the Lakers' last hope at preventing the Pacers from tying the series up 2-2. Kobe had surgery done on his right shoulder at the start of the 2003-2004 season. In his first game against LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kobe sprained this right shoulder again when a defender came down on it after a pump fake. He made his free throws but ended up leaving the game. Although the Lakers were already without Shaq and Karl Malone and Kobe was supposed to be out for much longer, he missed only 6 games and returned to play against the Supersonics, where he re-aggravated his injury from contact against the shoulder again. The Lakers training staff expected Kobe to miss at least another month, but there he was with the team on the plane to Boston, where Kobe played, scoring 18 points and 10 assists in their victory against the Celtics. The Lakers won 12 of their next 13 games, with Kobe averaging 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, shooting 45% from the field and 37% from 3. Instead of sitting out for 4 to 6 weeks, Kobe was playing 39 minutes a game. At the start of a game in 2009 versus the Cavs, Kobe had his finger dislocated, and something that really shocked me about this play is that Kobe was signaling over to the bench that he wanted them to take a foul or take a timeout or something, and the Lakers just continued to play for the entire possession until the Cavs were able to score. I just thought that was a really pathetic display by his teammates. In 2016, something similar happened here, where Kobe was going for the ball and had his finger dislocated again, except this time he was immediately pulled over to the side and had Gary Vee help him adjust it. The look on this woman's face says it all. Kobe returned to the game immediately after and scored on the next possession. Just another one of the intangibles that really set Kobe apart from the rest of the league. In 2009 to 2010, Kobe suffered an avulsion fracture on his right index finger. But that's not even the craziest part. Let me give you some context for this injury. Despite an injury to his shooting hand's small finger, which was described as a complete tear of the radial collateral ligament, an avulsion fracture, and a volar plate injury at the MCP joint that occurred in a game on February 5, 2008, Kobe decided to play all 82 games of the regular season instead of opting for surgery. This was the 07-08 season where Kobe won his first season MVP and the Lakers made a finals run, ultimately losing to the Celtics in 6 games. Regarding this injury, he stated, "I would prefer to delay any surgical procedure until after our Lakers season and this summer's Olympic Games. But this is an injury that myself and the Lakers medical staff will just have to continue to monitor on a day-to-day basis." Again, this is his right pinky finger on his shooting hand. This is something that you would feel while handling the ball, shooting, passing, catching the ball. And Kobe decided, after seeing numerous hand specialists, that he would forego surgery on his right pinky. Fresh off of winning the Olympic gold medal in Beijing, Kobe decided he would not want to miss any time on the court when Lakers training camp opened later that month. Bryant said, "I have always felt that I can still focus and play at a high level, even through various injuries. That's really just part of the game. When the doctors told me recovery from a procedure could be 12 weeks, I just decided now was not the time to have surgery." Fast forward to the 2009-2010 season. A week after Kobe banked in his famous game-winning 3 versus Miami over Dwayne Wade, Bryant suffered an avulsion fracture in his right index finger in a game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So he has this pinky on his right hand that he never got surgery on, and he now injures his right index finger on the same hand, his shooting hand. Despite the injury, Kobe elected to continue playing rather than take any time off to rest the injury. Why would he do this? Well, I think it has something to do with the fact that the Lakers came up short in the 2008 finals, losing to the Celtics, and Kobe must have been so motivated to get back to the finals and win that ring that he decided not to take any time off regardless of his multiple injuries. For a few weeks, Kobe wore a splint wrapped in tape. The splint would hinder his ability to handle the ball, and he had to figure out how to shoot with a splint on his index finger. For those of you who don't play basketball regularly, the index finger is commonly used to aim and guide the ball when releasing a shot. And it's just ridiculous to imagine that the Lakers' #1 scoring option and primary ball handler has only 3 healthy fingers on his shooting hand. You might be wondering how it affected his game. The next day versus Utah, Kobe scored only 16 points, shot the ball poorly, and the Lakers ended up losing by 8. But in the following game versus Chicago, Kobe made an adjustment. Let me tell you some of the stats of his next 10 games. Kobe scored 35 or more in 7 of the 10 games, with 40 or more 3 times. The Lakers won 8 of those games, with Kobe averaging 37 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, 49% from the field, and 35% from 3. During this stretch, Kobe hit a game-winning fadeaway against Milwaukee and another game-winning corner three-pointer versus the Kings. In 4 of these games, Kobe played more than 45 minutes. We all know how 2010 ended, with Kobe playing through the season and the playoffs, winning his 5th championship ring and his 2nd Finals MVP. If you were wondering why Kobe seemed off or shot poorly in some of those playoff games, perhaps even Game 7 of the Finals, this might be why. He hadn't been healthy in years, but winning came first, and Kobe made no excuses, deciding that winning the championship was much more important than addressing his injuries. In the 2011-2012 season, Kobe again injured his right hand, this time tearing the ligament in his right wrist during the first preseason game against One of Kobe's latest injuries was in 2015 when he went up for a baseline dunk and tore the rotator cuff in his right shoulder. He stayed in the game, even taking and making a turnaround fadeaway jump shot with his left hand before his coach realized it was time to get him out. Kobe missed the rest of the season by opting to get surgery, but playing much longer wouldn't have made a difference that year anyway. The Achilles rupture that Kobe suffered in 2013, which ended his season and pretty much ended his career, was an interesting one because Kobe had been playing his 17th year at that point, averaging 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. Up until then, there had never been a player to average more than 20 points a game in their 17th season. It was simply unheard of. The fact that people even expected Kobe to average 20 in his 17th season, and that he ended up averaging 27, was just proof that Kobe had been doing miraculous things throughout his career. After the Achilles rupture, he never fully recovered and got back to his prime form, but you saw in his last game that he scored 60, including the game-winning shot against the Utah Jazz. Unfortunately, we'll never get to really know, but we can always wonder what could have happened if Kobe was never injured in his 17th season. The Lakers could have made a serious push in the playoffs if Kobe had been playing, and he might have even been playing today, past his 20th season. Kobe went on to set numerous records, such as being the oldest player to score 60 points, and we saw glimpses of the Kobe of old as he scored 25 and 30, even 35 points several times in his final season. It seems likely that Kobe would have averaged 25 points even in his 20th season if he didn't have to deal with the injuries he faced in the final 3 years. Since his teenage years, Kobe has had the ability to play through intense pain and injury, and that manifested itself in 5 championship rings and all the accolades to go with it that you probably already know. Will we ever see another player like this again? Players like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain played through any injury or situation, especially in the playoffs. It seems more common now that NBA players take games off just because they're tired, and you'll see star players resting for weeks with minor injuries. But that's something we didn't see in Kobe's 20-year career, so it's easy to see why his name is mentioned with the greatest to ever play. That's all for now. I hope you guys learned something new about the Mamba, and stay tuned. I'll be bringing more content soon. Peace.